YouTube? Shukunshub here with a review of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy Dragonzord. A long-awaited review ever since they announced this thing back about a year or so ago, give or take, and it is finally here. Now, at the moment, this is a Toys R Us exclusive. Amazon's release is coming at the end of June, so those of you who have it with Amazon still have to wait a little bit, but those who pre-ordered it at Toys R Us are now receiving them now. Obviously, that's what now means. So, depending on where you got it, you're going to have to either wait or enjoy this thing right away. Now, like some other Legacy items, this costs the same as a Dragon Dagger, $79.99, which for this isn't actually all that bad. Considering how much Japanese robos cost, this is actually better than most of those. So the $79.99 price tag is very good, and like I said in most of my other Toys R Us exclusive reviews, Toys R Us throws out coupons so often that you can actually get this guy pretty cheap. I only paid about $59.99 for it, which is really good. Dragonzord stats, because those are important. Seriously, who doesn't know the story to MMPR? Then finally on the back here it shows all of the cool combinations with the Legacy Megazord. Now you can also use the 2010 Dino Megazord as a proxy since it's the same mold. Just be warned that with the diecast of the Dragonzord, the full plastic body of the Dino Megazord is going to be really floppy, so you're going to have to be careful with it compared to the diecast frame of the Legacy Megazord. And here he is in all of his glory. Now, as much as I don't really like Zyuranger and MMPR is really boring nowadays, I always loved the designs, and the Dragonzord is obviously a favorite Dragon Caesar if you watched Zyuranger. And this is easily the best version of that robo that you could possibly ever get. Like, I don't think there's a being in the universe that could probably give us a better toy than this. Electronics would be about the only thing that would make this better. Now, apparently in the UK, the gold here on the sides and in the chest here is a chrome gold. I don't know if that's for all of them or if that was a store exclusive or what, but apparently that's a thing. So if you're in the UK and this looks different, that's why. But really, this is just a absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous toy. And for $80 before any sort of discounts or coupons, even that, it's a absolutely amazing price. QC has been spotty. Poor Linear Ranger. His little flat back here was loose. It didn't peg in, so it just kind of dangled down. The way they're packing these, this head fin is made out of a soft rubber, and that has been getting distorted right out of the box, and I think that's really disappointing. Mine's okay. Mine only has a slight curvature to it, so I'm thankful for that. But those are the only two major QC problems I know of. There's obviously paint scuffs that could happen too, but the one I received from Toys R Us is actually really, really good. So highlights of the Dragon mode. We've got a nice movable mouth, which is obviously because of transformation, but I like how if you kind of open it just right, the red visor for that mode kind of looks like a tongue. So you kind of got some cool little design going on in there. Articulation wise, again, because of transformation, you have this folding gimmick right there with the arms, so he can kind of bend his wrist down. The hand is on a swivel as well, so you can like hold a person or whatever. So you got that, so you got quite a bit of movement in the hands, plus you can kind of swing these out if you really needed to for any reason. So that's not bad. Down here on the legs, they obviously work off of just a swivel right there, and then at the knee, you do have a nice ankle tilt right there at the ankles. That's always helpful for certain things. The main highlight of this toy is actually the tail down here. Each individual segment is on this kind of rotating ball joint. So you can get all sorts of different movement with this tail. That's about as far as the curve of it can go. Right about that. So you can't swing it all the way around like the suit in the show or anything like that. But you can get quite a bit of different poses out of that, which is very nice. Plus, if you really needed it to, they do kind of push into each other to make a straighter tail. That's for the weapon later on. So, multiple different things you can do with this. That is just plugged in via Zordbuilder port we'll take a look at later. The drill can rotate a little bit up on top, but other than just being big and awesome, it doesn't do a whole lot. So that's really about it. A lot of the main features here are just the details in general. You've got the Dragon Caesar, Dragonzord logos down there, which is nice for people who had the original Mighty Morphin toy. Know that this is what we got. He's short, he's stumpy, he's got the lightning bolt stickers everywhere, the M on the side here, lightning bolts right there. My little crotch piece here is actually a reproduction. I don't have the original. So the stickers are gone there, but as far as I remember, those were lightning bolts as well. It does have the LEDs in here and makes really obnoxious beeping noises, but that's really about it for this guy. There's chrome. I guess that's a plus maybe. I don't really like chrome. The tail's kind of dinky. So basically this is pure kind of garbage compared to this one. And given how much this the original Dragonzord actually costs on eBay, this is actually the better deal, I think. Another thing to note is that the hands are actually swappable. These are the Dragonmode's kind of posed hands that are really cool. You can pop those right off, set those aside, and of course he comes with the original toys. Straight-handed little shooty hands. If you're posing them in Dragon mode, I wouldn't use these hands because it does make them look really stupid. But these are necessary for the transformations. You can't use these ones to transform him. You need to do the flat ones. So that's about all for the Dragon mode. As beautiful as it is, we do have to move on. So any sort of transformation with this guy is very much like the original toy. You pop off his tail, which can actually be a little bit difficult, because that Zordbuilder port in there does like to stick in pretty good. So here is the tail, Zordbuilder port right there. So if you have any other Zordbuilder toys, you can toss this tail on things and make it look all drilly and stuff. So that will basically just plug in to this piece later on, which we will do shortly. Fold these back. These will fold right inside there, just like the original toy. Like I said, most of this is pretty much a dead ringer for the original toy functionality. Split him open. This piece will drop right off. Split this back together. In terms of diecast, the feet are diecast. I believe that is plastic. This piece right here is diecast. These pieces, I believe, are diecast. And these do also actually rotate as well. I forgot to highlight that. It doesn't really serve a purpose in transformed mode, but I guess it can give you a little bit of shoulder articulation too. So that is always cool. My biggest gripe with the toy is probably the legs here. Because of this diecast, it makes this really heavy, and the joint really isn't set up for it. And it can get really annoying. So that entire piece will fold up, as will this, and it will just kind of sit in there. Make sure it's behind this tab. You can't really see it, but there's a tab right in there. Make sure that is behind it, and you've got the feet set up, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. Despite that tab being there, it doesn't hold the leg in place because the leg is just so heavy. So that will slide. I don't really have too much of a problem with this one, but this leg in general is very spotty. So flip that around, flip that down. So now we have our body. Bring in our Legacy Megazord. We're going to want the legs. Obviously, we will remove the sword and the shield. Then this section will come right off. Take off the cannons. Swing the tail down. Then this part will pop right off, which is actually kind of difficult as well. Just like that. This guy will set aside. Plug the Triceratops in there. Saber-tooth tiger in there, so now he's got legs. And we're getting somewhere. Then this part will attach right onto the sides here. So now he's got arms. They're awfully close to the chest, but he has arms. It does, of course, come with the black stand. Now, because it's the way it's designed, it actually can't sit on the floor. It's curved here, so that's kind of strange. And this piece likes to pop off very easily, so I do have to glue that in. But take that, plug it into the base, which doesn't appear to actually lock in at all. Design flaws. Yeah, that doesn't push in anymore. Okay, so swing this down. This will fold out. The drill tail, that will pop out to allow clearance for the giant drill. That will pop in right here. Like I said, this bottom likes to fall out. And now you have the giant drill weapon. And that will, if you swing out this again, because I pushed it in, that will peg right into his hand. Just like so. And there we go. So just for an idea of how big that drill weapon is, there you go. And there's our dead Tyrannosaurus over there. But it is huge. And I really, really wish that they would have included a just full plastic tail to use for this mode. Because actually, if you look at the 93 version tail, it actually would serve alright as a weapon stand-in. Right about there. So it kind of would have been nice if they included something like that and I drop it to use for the attack mode here, but what are you going to do? Not a whole lot. It just looks really goofy. And so here we have the Dragonzord battle mode, Dragonzord in fighting mode, or the Mega Dragonzord if you want to be like that one episode and screw up. But regardless, go Ryujin if you want to use Zyuranger terms. He looks really nice. Moving this big weapon out of the way because he's taking up space. That's really the only flaw with this mode, is the weapon just being so huge. And his arms kind of are a little bit dinky. They're kind of close to his body. But I like it. It's nicely proportioned. It kind of captures the look of everything well. Legs are a little bit thin, thanks to the design of the Legacy Megazord. Now the head crest can move all the way back or all the way front. If you want to. I think in this mode it didn't change. Maybe it went like that. We'll go with that, sure. So here we have it, and I really do like the way that it looks. With the Z's being all raised molding, as well as all the design throughout here, it just looks very, very nice. And the functionality-wise, there isn't a whole lot to go over. It just looks very, very pretty. So here is a look at the 93 Dragonzord battle mode compared to the Legacy Dragonzord battle mode. Obviously shorter, a little bit more accurate to the suit in the show in terms of overall look. And then of course you have the accurate design compared to the lightning bolt mess going on over here. But overall they did a very, very good job on this Legacy version, and it looks really nice. Alright, so moving along to the actual Mega Dragonzord. Take your 2010 or Legacy Megazord, fold these down just like so, and fold this back. Now the instructions do show taking off the pterodactyl. You can if you want to. It's not 100% necessary, but I will for the sake of showing why they do recommend that. Basically, they want you to do that. So like I said, this is going to be a very big pain because of how floppy these legs are. Fold these back around just like that. Fold his other head up because we don't need that. And then pop him off, and we're actually kind of pretty much good to go. There are a couple things you have to do. There's these little plastic tabs right here that have to swing up. I will discuss those in a minute because I do not like those. So you're all done here. We'll bring in our Legacy Megazord. Okay, I zoomed in a little bit just to kind of show what I'm talking about here. Hold it by the legs so that you don't have to worry about the legs flip-flopping around on you. And just kind of get it situated. It's very, very, very touchy. Everything kind of pegs in so gracefully that it doesn't allow a whole lot of room for wiggling. Make sure this tab right here is folded back because the horns are actually going to slot in there. And these pegs like to flip in. It's very it's very annoying actually, and it's hard to get everything situated. There we go. It's starting to kind of come together here. Just kind of keep playing with it. If we take a look back here, swing the tail down. This will eventually peg in back there, but our horns need to finish coming through back here. They're caught. Like I said, it is very, very much a pain, especially compared to the original, which was very, very much of a smooth process. This one does not like to peg together quite that well. It's particularly this helmet area because of the horns having to sit in this groove properly, and it's really obnoxious. Okay, I just pushed really hard and it kind of worked, and that's kind of where we're at with this. Make sure that those are folded out properly. Basically, there are tabs right here that are going to go under the lip right here of the Megazord's head. And then these pull-out tabs are going to snap into the grooves of the Mastodon part right here. Just be careful. The tabs aren't as wide as they should be, and I do feel like they're putting a lot of stress on it. So do be careful when you're doing that. Fold these back up. Fold this back up. Reattach pterodactyl. Back here, that will tab back into where the tail normally tabbed. So that will help secure it in place. But yeah, that's really about it for this mode. You have to redo the legs, and really do keep an eye on it because these are just dangling here. You will run into some leg droppage, as I like to call it. And here we have the Mega Dragonzord, also known as the Jiute Daijujin from Zyuranger. So, not too bad. It's a little bit different, but this form wasn't used a whole lot outside of combining with Titanus. I think it was used maybe once or twice back when they first started doing it, but outside of that, it wasn't used a whole lot, because it's basically just Dragonzord on your backpack, on your shoulders, really. You can take the Mastodon shield, you can plug that in. You can give him the power sword, if you so wish. All of these pieces on this weapon is still intact, so you can give him those if you want to. So whatever you want to do, feel free to do so. The cannons can plug back into this. I don't know why they even really tell you to take them off. They don't have to be taken off. But there you go. So now he's all armored up and ready to go fight evil and such like. So like I said, you can give him the drill. I thought I remembered at one point the tail and chest piece plugging in on these sides. Maybe I was delusional. I don't remember. But regardless, that can't happen here. The ports aren't there. There are male Zordbuilder ports sticking out here, so you can attach other things if you want to. But you can't attach the actual weapons. You could attach the shield maybe, but not the tail. Obviously, wouldn't fit here anyway. But overall, a pretty nice looking form. Absolute pain to get it into this mode because of how tight everything is in this upper section. But once it snaps in place, it's pretty secure. Like I said, the only thing you really have to worry about are these legs kind of dangling on you. And for comparison real quick, here is the English release from '93 and then the Legacy release from now. Have to say, I really do like the Legacy release more. It's a lot more streamlined, more accurate to the suit in the show, and overall just more accurate in general thanks to not having really weird miscolored stickers. And here we are back to the Dragonzord. Now, words cannot express how absolutely impressed I am with this release. After the Legacy Megazord was just a kind of blinged out version of the 2010 mold, I was a little bit skeptical when they announced this one. However, they knocked it out of the park. This is by far the best version of the Dragonzord / Dragon Caesar you could possibly get or want. It is completely accurate to the screen-used suit in terms of detailing and design. The proportions are great. I really can't get over on how excellent this is. For $79.99, you're getting a absolutely beautiful piece that looks excellent on display. And even if you don't have the Legacy Megazord or the 2010 Dino Megazord, it doesn't really matter. It is still worth the price just by how gorgeous it looks on display. The tail is really fun. It's probably my favorite part of the toy. I really dig the articulated tail. And just having a completely accurate representation of the Dragonzord really just makes me happy. It's always been one of those things where you always love it. It's a cool looking thing. It's very Godzilla-esque, and that's the in thing now thanks to that movie. But I've always really loved the Dragonzord, and it's really nice to finally have a version of Dragon Caesar and Dragonzord that looks exactly how it does on the show. The play value is exactly the same as the '93 one, just in a lot nicer, gorgeous looking package. So I have to give it props. There is very few flaws with it. The legs are really the only thing that kind of grinds my gears. I really wish that was a ratchet joint or something in there that was a lot more stable to handle the diecast. But other than that, I think it's absolutely beautiful. The QC problems that people are having is very, very unfortunate. And I really wish Bandai would kind of get their thing together and realize that you have to watch out for these rubbery pieces and paint scuffs and things like that, because there's really no excuse for it anymore. But if you manage to get one as good as I did, absolutely gorgeous and well worth the $79.99, even more if you can get it on a sale. So thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.